Hello and welcome everybody to we have it looks like a dry race. I haven't got any confirmation, but it does look to be a wet race here in Silverstone. We are here in round number 9, the final round of this RLH season. We're at Silverstone, an amazing track to race on. We have a total of should be 17 if Fifi joins us in qualifying, but for now we have to stick with 16 drivers, which is still a very nice turnout in the final race of this season. Goncalves is leading the championship with 215 points. His championship is sealed because unfortunately Pui could not make it for this race today, which is very unfortunate for him. We saw some nice moves in Zandvoort for the Williams driver. I think Annoyed Gamer might be Annoyed Gamer is the first car out. But having said that, following them is Pui and Shaq. Pui is on 176 points in the Williams, and Shaq is on 170 in the Mercedes. So there's only 6-point difference. So it'll be exciting to see who can take second place. Constructors wise, Mercedes have 201 points, Haas have 273 points, so between Mercedes and Haas, so between Annoyed Gamer and Shaq Attack and Goncalves, there is going to be a big fight for the constructors, as we know their pace is awesome. So everyone seems to be on the wet compound. Annoyed seems to be on the wet compound. I think everyone will follow suit. I'll just have a look at your comments quickly on the stream. Annoyed Gamer is quite a good driver. He's a skillful driver. Let's see if he can get a nice quali lap in the rain after his outlap. Following him, we have a Renault of Goey, and we have Shaq Attack, second place in the championship, third place, sorry, after Pui, just 6 points behind the Williams driver. Right, just coming down to the long hanger straight. Now into the Stowe corner, the fast right in the dry. And still quite fast in the wet, but obviously not as fast. And we'll stick on board with him for a first lap of the Silverstone circuit in the wet this time, in C5. So just round in the final corner is Annoyed Gamer. Still needs to get used to conditions a bit. He's sliding a lot, and unfortunately he invalidates. And he invalidates his next lap as well. You see yellow flags. Nothing that big though, and we'll stick on with Goey now, as unfortunately Annoyed Gamer has invalidated. We'll see what Goey in the Renault can do. Just starting his lap now. I'm sure the first corner will not be flat out, and it isn't flat out. He actually brakes a little bit and he goes down a gear, but he takes it nicely in general. Now going to the down to second. Yeah, stays in second, which is very nice for the traction. And he isn't short shifting, he's just going up normally, letting the revs go through, and is having a nice quali lap in these wet conditions so far. Just waits for the right moment to put the accelerator down, and he does very well. Just Goey. Hello Evil Master, hello Shaq, who says good luck. Thank you, Shaq. So Goey, he was looking very good, but he's invalidated on Beckett's, which is very unfortunate. Very easy to invalidate in Beckett's, so yeah, especially in the wet, and I hope he doesn't lose the car. But he's done for now for this lap, but I'm sure he can improve on the next lap. Annoyed has invalidated, he'll go for another one. Shaq is on a lap at P3 in the championship. Go Alpha says Cosmo, thank you for your comment, Cosmo. I'm sure Daddy Switch has put on a good performance for you, as Annoyed Gamer will just start a lap. Oh no, and Shaq has lost it, but he saves it. Doesn't go into the barriers with a little lock up, but his tyres will be done, and maybe he'll pit, maybe he won't. Just waiting for the yellow flags to go. I hope he doesn't DNF as well. Yeah, he doesn't, as Zabiaka sets a first time of this race with a 139.0. That sets a little benchmark for the wet here in Silverstone. See who's next across the line. Seems like an Alfa Romeo. Is it Daddy Spritz? Yes, it is. He sets a 144.1, but Bruno sets a 140.7, just going P2, just behind Zabiaka. Huss sets a 141.1. in front of Daddy Spritz. Daddy Spritz is off the pace just a tiny bit. I'm sure we'll get it soon. Milo DeHeld sets a 1:40.6 in the McLaren. Decent time by him. He goes into P2. We see a Renault of either Otianu. Yes, it is Otianu. Is he just finishing on that? Yes, he is. 1:41.0 as well. He goes into P5, joining the 1:41s with himself, Huss, and Octavia. Huygens does a 1:42.5. And Goncalves with a 1:39.5 also challenges P2. Now quite a lot of people are pitting, quite a lot of people are also on hot laps. So that rounds out our top 9 for now. I think that's Annoyed Gamer, who unfortunately invalidated his first lap in his first outing, but he's looking good on the second one. We don't question that, says Shaq. Yes, we don't. Unlucky Shaq. Here comes Annoyed Gamer. He's drifting a bit on the penultimate corner, but now on the final corner. See if Annoyed Gamer can get into the top 5 region. He crosses the line now, and he gets into P7 with a 1:41.6. Nice banker lap from Annoyed Gamer in the Mercedes. Is that Goy just finishing off a lap? Yes, it is. He goes into P2, the third 1:39, and he goes into P2 with a 1:39.4 in the Renault. We see Jones, I think, in the Racing Point, just finishing off his lap. Crossing the final corner, goes into P5 with a 1:40.6. Daddy Spritz is just going to start a lap. I think it's the Haas of Huss, who does, yes, he does cross the line again with a 1:40.2. Puts himself just behind his teammate into P4. Both Hasses obviously looking to challenge the Mercedes in the Constructors' Championship here in RLH. We have Huygens as well, who is just he's just started a lap in the AlphaTauri. We'll go on board with not Goey, the other runners going to the pits. What about Williams? We haven't seen Williams yet. Matt Johnston is going into the pits. I think Sinful's on an out lap. Who's on a hot lap that we can watch? We'll watch Jones. He's just a tiny bit up on his time. Yeah, we'll stick on board with Jones now. Yeah, a bit of braking, a bit of lifting, of course, into Cops. Now through the Magnussen Beckett section, where we saw someone invalidate earlier. How does he take Magnussen Beckett? Goes into the 7th gear. It takes Magnussen Beckett nicely, and he takes the rest of the section very nicely now, going onto the main hanger straight, and he's up by about 5/10. It's looking like a lovely lap for Jones in the Racing Point, looking to challenge Hess and Milo DeHeld in the Haas and McLaren respectively. As you see, Goncalves, he does a pole lap with a 1:39.0. I think I missed that earlier, so sorry about that, but Goncalves has gone pole. Now we see Jones just rounding off his lap. Jones is now out of ERS deployment, but he does a 1:39.5, goes into 1:39, and he goes into P5 ahead of Huss in the Haas. McLaren of Milo, who I think is jumping into the pits. Yes, he is. Williams of Sinful, still on an out lap. So I think that is it for now. And what about Goncalves? Our provisional poll. Yeah, most people are going to the pits. Only people out are Williams of Sinful, Mercedes of Shaq and Skipper, who are both on an out lap together. We'll stick on board with Sinful though, who is on. No, he's not using overtake though. I'm not sure what Sinful's doing right now. Nice spin, says Cosmo. So Sinful, I think he is on a hot lap. Maybe forgot to put overtake on, or maybe deciding opting just not to use it in general. We'll see what they're currently last, but I'm sure he can go up into the top 10. We'll see what the Williams driver can do here in the very bad conditions in Silverstone. Skipper's also crossing, starting the lap as well in P15. Himself, Shaq, and Sinful haven't set a lap yet. Hopefully Shaq can set a time soon as well. He's in P3 in the driver's standings, as he is now starting a lap in the Mercedes. How's Sinful's lap going? He takes Klopser very cautiously into 6th gear. Now Magnussen Beckett doesn't touch the curb on the left, takes a bit of curb on the right, and the second section is done nice and beautifully by Sinful in the Williams. It'll be interesting to see what the Williams driver can do. He brakes just between the 150 meter board, taking a bit of curve on the right, having to lift a bit. Right, here comes Sinful now in the Williams. He crosses the line. Right now P16, and he goes into P13 with a 1:44.3. Shaq is also on a hot lap. We see a Renault of Goey and Otienu just starting an out lap. What has Shaq done on his hot lap? He looks to be decent for me, but we'll see after this lap if he can challenge the top 10, because he'll really need it if he wants to get P2 in this Drivers' Championship. Decides not to take the curve on the right and takes a good chunk on the left. Prof Goncalves won the title. I know, yeah, he did. Here comes Shaq. Hello, Lucas. Pui's not here, so he wins. Yes, I know he does. And he goes into P6 on 1:4.0. Yeah, Goncalves, as you said, has been dominant throughout the season. And he has taken some good victories. I was here of Williams of Sinful, Matt Johnston, should I say, on a hot lap. He's currently in P16, hasn't set a lap. What's happened to Shaq there in the Mercedes? Let me just check. Oh, he's lagging out a bit for me. Come on, Spritz, he says Lucas. Spritz is just on an out lap. Matt Johnston is having to take things very cautiously in these wet conditions. Let's see where Matt Johnston currently is in the Drivers' Championship. So yeah, Matt Johnston is currently in P19. So he'll be looking maybe on the last race of the season to maybe jump up a bit in front of the likes of Otienu and Silverstone. But he looks like on a decent lap right now, is Matt Johnston. Goncalves still has our provisional pole, our championship winner. Zabiaka is only such a small margin between them two, but Zabiaka has improved by 3/10 if I'm not wrong, and he is now crossing the line. Will he take provisional pole? He crosses the line and he does take provisional pole with a 1:38.73 in front of Goncalves. As the track, I don't know if it is right now or not, but drivers are becoming more used to the conditions and obviously making better laps. Goey is also on a lap. What about his teammate Otienu, who's on a 1:41.0? He is going into the pits. Matt Johnston, who was on a hot lap, who's slipping and sliding everywhere, but at least he can set a time now with 5 minutes left in this qualifying session. He crosses the line to do a 1:40.8 in P9. Decent lap from him. What about Noid Gamer just crossing the line? Now he goes to P4, 1:39.4. Great lap from the Mercedes driver. And what about Daddy Spritz in the Alfa Romeo? He is on a hot lap, hoping to get a decent lap and get into the top 10 is the Alfa Romeo driver, as I think Milo or Skipper is crossing the line, either of them, but they haven't improved so far. Daddy Spritz crosses the line and he goes to P9, 1:40.3. Maybe he can improve later on in the session as well. I think he's going on a double hot lap, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, he is. He seems to be on a double hot lap. I think Huss is also on a hot lap as well. He is on a hot lap, just going into first corner, sorry, of his hot lap. As we see Huss, he's had some good races so far in C5. He is currently in P13, and he also has one podium to his name. So the Turkish driver is looking to fight the likes of Maverick and Fifi. Unfortunately, he's not here, and the likes of Jones and Cosmo as well. Cosmo is unfortunately not here as well. But he's gone very wide. Doesn't invalidate, but he must have lost a huge chunk of time there. The Haas driver. As you see, a Renault crossing the line. I think it's Goey. Has he improved on his time? I don't know. He looks to be about the same. Maybe yeah, he doesn't improve. He's up by about 2/10. Is the Renault driver. We see a Williams of Matt Johnston, who might be starting another lap. Yeah, he is starting another lap soon. McLaren of Milo is on a hot lap, but he's invalidated. What about Daddy Spritz, who is on a second hot lap now? Just now on the penultimate corner, breaking at the 100-meter board, going down to second. Now through the right, goes up to third, short shifts up to fourth. And now crossing the line, what can Daddy Spritz do in his Alfa Romeo? He goes up into P5, what a lap. He does a 1:39.5. So brilliant lap from the Alfa Romeo, finally finding a bit of pace in these wet conditions. What about the Red Bull of CDR Octavio? He is on an outlap, just about to start a lap. CDR Octavio is in P6 in the championship. He'll be looking to fight Annoyed Gaber and Zabiaka if he can. We'll see if he can get out of this P15 spot. As Red Bull crosses the line of Jones, who's just starting a hot lap. So Octavio is taking things very steady for now. The track is definitely drying out from the spectators' point of view. So people will be looking out to get out last minute and maybe set some good laps. We'll stick on board with Octavio. So just exiting left field now. Now on the Wellington straight, he goes into Cops nicely into 6th gear. Lovely from Octavio. He'll be trying to improve, definitely. Zabiaka has done a 1:38.7, and he has provisional pole right now. Oh, nearly a little spin for Octavio in the Red Bull, but he is up by about 1 second on his time. And his teammate lets him by. Daddy Spritz goes into P3 with a 1:39.3. What a lap from Daddy Spritz here. He's really showing some pace in Silverstone, his home track, and in the wet. Oh, Sinful is all over the place on the grass, but he makes it out safely. Octavio just crossing the line now. Octavio crosses the line and he does a 1:40.6 from the Red Bull driver. His teammate Bruno is just on an outlap ball at Jones in the racing point. Jones is crossing the line and he goes to P2 with a 1:38.7. Lovely lap from Jones there. Jones is P10 in the championship. He will be getting some mega points if he stays in pole. Goncalves is just finishing off his lap. Our championship winner. Goncalves has gone up by about a tenth, but still in P3. I think he's on a double hot lap. Sinful retires from the session. What's happened to Sinful? I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to Sinful there. I think it might be in the pits, if I'm not wrong. So Spritz is in P4, showing some excellent pace. And Jones also is another one. So two contenders showing some excellent pace to go P2 and P4 respectively. And Jones is again on another hot lap. Zabiaka's teammate. Zabiaka's teammate, I'm not sure. But Zabiaka has improved. He stays in provisional pole. And his teammate, this is a 1-2 for a Racing Point here. It looks mega awesome for Racing Point. So lots of checkered flags out now. Skipper's gone very wide there. And he goes into the pits. We'll see if we can catch some final laps for the Red Bull drivers maybe. Octavio just letting Bruno past. Bruno will be looking to set a time further better than his 1:40.7, but we'll see what he can do on the penultimate corner. Here he comes now, Bruno crossing the line. The Red Bull driver slipping and sliding, but he crosses the line into P8 with a 1:39.8. Lovely lap from the Red Bull driver there. We see pretty much everyone going into the pits. What about Goncalves? Goncalves is just finishing off a hot lap. I think one of the last ones to finish off that lap, and he stays into P3, 1:38.8. Even Master says, what is mine and Shaq's luck? I'm having flashbacks. Yeah, Shaq has not had the best of lucks. Especially in last race where he lost connection in the formation lap, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, he's had a very unlucky race, has Shaq and the Mercedes, but he's a skillful driver. Maybe he can go up and take a podium. You never know. It's easy at Silverstone. I don't know how the race is like. I'll quickly check race conditions. So race conditions tell us oh, no one told me race conditions. We'll have to guess then. I'll ask. But for now, it is a mystery for us to see if it'll be a wet race or a dry race. I'm presuming it'll be a dry race. So it is a dry race. We've got confirmation from Milo. Prof, you're blind. How am I blind? What did I do? Zabiak on the intermediate tyres sets a 137.8. Jones sets a 138.4. Goncalves sets a 138.8. Daddy Spritz sets a 139.3. What a lap from Daddy Spritz in the wet tyre. Goey sets a 139.4. Annoyed Gamer sets a 139.4 as well. Exactly identical laps from both drivers. Mike Johnson sets a 139.5. Bruno, Milo, Huss, Shaq in P11. Octavia P12. Skipper P13. Altia P14, Huygens P15, and Sinful is in last place, unfortunately, with a 144.3. But yeah, Zabiaka has our pole position. Zabiaka is P4 in the championship, so he has a good chance of getting some lovely points. What happened to Shaq? If I'm not wrong, I think Shaq had a spin the first time I looked at it. But I think he just had problems, which means he couldn't set a decent quality lap, I mean. As we just wait for people to choose their strategies and get ready for the Silverstone race. I think, yeah, I didn't go to plan. I spun a billion times. Yeah, unlucky Shaq. So yeah, I think soft to medium is a good strategy here. Maybe soft to hard if you want to stretch it out, but hards aren't the best tyre on this track, of course, as I'll enable everything once we get ready to go on our formation lap here in Silverstone for round number 9, our final race of the season. Drivers looking to get some good points and have a good finish to their lovely season in RLH. So we see our C5 championship winner, Goncalves in P3, Jones, tremendous pace in P2, Spritz P4, Goey is in P5. Goey right now in the championship is, if I can find him, he's P16 in the Renault. P16, maybe he could catch a podium today in P5. Annoyed Game is P6. Matt Johnston will be looking to get some good points in P7. Yeah, I'll put 2 tyres on quickly. There we go. So Jones starts on the medium tyres. Zabiaka opts for the softer race leader. Jones is on mediums. Alternate strategy to his teammate. Goncalves is on mediums. Spritz is on mediums. Goey, Annoyed, Matt Johnston and Bruno are on softs. Milo's on mediums in P9. Huss is on softs. Shaq decides to go for the medium tyres. Octavia decides to go for the softs. Skipper softs. Altia mediums. Huygens mediums. And Sinful mediums. And Sinful has had a big off. Not the greatest qualifying for Sinful yet, but let's see if he can have a good race here in RLH. But his tyres will be a little cooked for the start of this race, as Zabiaka is really bunching up the pack already. On for turn 1 carnage. I think there's definitely going to be turn 1 carnage. I predict a safety car, actually. I predict the Spritz win as well. Maybe he can get a win. We'll see. So yeah, pack is punching very slowly. Formation lap is extremely slow. But we're nearly ready for 26 awesome laps of this race here in Silverstone. And constructors wise, Haas are having a very good day with the Goncalves in P3 and Huss in P10. Whereas Mercedes also having a decent day, but Shaq having some bad luck in P11 and Annoyed in P6 means that they're about equal. But we'll see how the battle between the Haas and Mercedes for the championship unfolds. Haas will need to get the better points than Mercedes if they want to have any chance of stealing the constructors from them. But now everyone readies up for their grid slot. Indeed, SC and Spritz win. Yeah, that's what I think as well, Cosmo. We'll see how it turns out. I'll go on board with Jones in the race to put 2 racing points, having P1 and P2. Let's see how this unfolds. Everyone's on the grid. Right, we should have our lights soon. 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 light, 5 lights, and it's lights out and away we go. Bit of a delay there. Who gets the better start between the racing points? Zabiaga gets an awesome start in the racing point. Is there any carnage between everyone here? It seems like as we go through everyone, a bit of front wings flying about, but no big carnage if I'm not wrong. Yeah, a bit of front wings, but no big carnage. And we see a Williams of Sinful who's going down for a move on Huygens. But we'll look at the lead. Daddy Spritz goes into P4. In the Alfa Romeo, he's fighting Goncalves very hard. But Daddy Spritz right on the outside. Can he keep the move? Goncalves is fighting back in the Haas, but he has to let by for now. Any other fights that we can see. And we see Haas and Gui. Gui goes very wide. Gui even goes off onto the grass. So he'll be now very... yeah, maybe he might even go last. If Otienu overtakes him. No, a bit of wheel banging as well between Sinful and Gui. But Gui takes P13 after his little off in the Renault Sector 2 yellow flags. It is Otienu who's gone back in the Renault. Will he have front wing damage? I'm presuming. Or no, he just had a spin at the start. He has a full intact front wing. Huygens is trying to make the move on Sinful, and he gets the move on Sinful. We'll have a look at position changes quickly. So Goncalves has gone down 2 positions from P3. Bruno and Huss are fighting hard. Bruno's using all of his overtake, and so is Huss. He's actually on 50% overtake on the first lap of this race. And Matt Johnston has gone up 4 positions. What a start from Matt Johnston in the Williams from P7 up to P3. Lovely start. And Huss also from P10 to P7. Any other battles up you can see here, everyone's close together, but no real battles. Zabiaka, no, my timetables are just screwing up. He sets the fastest lap of this race. Hopefully they fix themselves quickly soon. Shaq attack is close to Bruno, and they nearly had it off there. I think there's a bit of wheel-to-wheel contact. Bruno has a little lock-up. Can Shaq take advantage of this? No, not yet, as we see a Williams of Sinful who has gone back due to a little off. My timetables are still not fixed themselves. Has Goncalves and Spritz are fighting. We saw Spritz, of course, going onto the straight. He stuck the move around the outside of Goncalves to keep his P4 position. Now we have a predicted pit stop strategy, and my tables are now fixed themselves. Gui and Huygens are battling. Huygens makes a move actually through Cops on the medium tyres, but Gui now has the extra traction on the soft tyres. Who will get the move done? No, Gui has to let him by. Maybe on the long hanging straight he can get past Huygens in the AlphaTauri. He does seem to have a good exit, but not good enough, I don't think. Spritz look good on his mediums. He does look very good, taking advantage of his compound. Bruno takes a bit too much curve there. Shaq goes wide on those medium tyres. Goncalves and Spritz are still quite close together. Zabiak sets another fast lap of this race. Spritz is on actually 30% ERS. I think he'll have to save a bit more ERS if he wants to defend hard against Goncalves, our championship winner in the Haas, if I haven't said it enough. Right, who can get the best traction now? Both are medium tyres. Seems like Goncalves has got the better traction here with DRS now enabled for him. He enables DRS. He has way more overtake, but I think he'll go for the move on the hanger straight. We see Octavia and Shaq fighting. Shaq is not close enough to make the move on Bruno. Yes, he is not close enough just yet. So he's basically in a Red Bull sandwich for now between Octavia and Bruno. Shaq has gone up 2 places though, so he might be looking maybe to gain some more. Annoyed Gamer and Goncalves are also very close together. Annoyed is of course on that soft tire, so he'll have the advantage for now in the Mercedes. Goncalves is extremely close to Daddy Spritz now. This is very close between the two drivers, both Ferrari powered engines. Here comes Goncalves now. He will have DRS. Daddy Spritz doesn't get a good exit at all. Now he is using DRS. Here comes the Haas of Goncalves on Spritz around the outside of him, but Spritz is using all of his overtake. See who comes in front, and the Haas, he makes a move around the outside and he jumps up into P4 position, looking to get onto Matt Johnson. Now he's under attack from Annoyed Gamer as well, but Annoyed Gamer doesn't make the move just yet. Shaq attack now gets past Bruno in the Red Bull. Yeah, and he gets the move done. Bruno just has a little bit of a lockup, but Shaq goes into P8 now. 2 Renaults are also battling. Gui and Otienu. Gui gets past Otienu on the medium tyres. whereas Goey is on the soft tyres. We see Bruno and Shaq still battling. Bruno is not giving up this P8 position easily and wants it back. Overtake and DRS enabled for the Red Bull driver. Is he close enough? He's gaining massively. Will he go for the move on the inside of Shaq attack? And he does go for the move. He has a bit of a lock-up. Stays on the inside. Shaq is defending it really hard round the outside. Will Shaq keep the position? The Red Bull driver tries to go round the outside of him. And no, he has to let him by Shaq. And maybe he'll go for the move on the main straight now. But Bruno couldn't get the move done. Shaq well defended by Shaq, the British driver, at his home race. We see Annoyed Gamer on the back of Spritz still. Can he get a better exit? No, I don't think he's got a good exit. And Spritz, of course, has DRS. Two runners are still fighting. What about the two McLarens of Skipper and Milo? Both Dutch drivers. Skipper, will he choose to get past his teammate? I think he's just going to stick behind him for now and use his DRS unless Milo lets him by. Yeah, not just yet. Matt Johnston, actually Bruno on the back of Shaq, but has still not got past Shaq in the Mercedes. We'll see Matt Johnston and on the back of Jones, who's still kept his P2 that he made in quali with an awesome lap. And Matt Johnston has gone up 4 positions, my driver of the day for now for sure, in the Williams, and he has a bit of a loss of traction there. So he'll lose out massively. He was very close actually to Jones. Will he lose out to Goncalves now due to that little mistake? Goncalves now around the outside of him in the Haas. Can he get the move done? The Haas driver. Matt Johnston has stuck it. Yeah, and Matt Johnston keeps the position of P3, and Goncalves can't get past him just yet. Annoyed Gamer and Haas are still battling. Haas seems to have got past Annoyed Gamer in the Haas. And Annoyed Gamer is a bit behind him now. But Hess is really closing on to the back of Daddy Spritz in the Alfa Romeo. Top 3 is all softs. No, Jones seems to be on the medium tyres. Here comes Hess. Not the best of exits with overtake enabled and DRS enabled. Can he be close enough to Spritz? Spritz does not have DRS, but Hess cannot gain on him. They both have about the same amount of DRS. Hess cannot gain on him just yet. What about Huygens and Skipper? As Bruno gets her first time penalty of this race with a 2-second time penalty. Skipper has gone very wide. Here comes Huygens in the AlphaTauri. Will he go round the inside? On the inside. No, he decides not to brake too late, and he has a bit of a massive lock up there actually. Can't get past Skipper in the McLaren. Goncalves and Matt Johnston are fighting it out. Will Goncalves go for the first DRS zone after this little corner? We'll see. It's all about whether he can get a good exit and not lose traction. He does get a good exit, but we need to remember Matt Johnston also has DRS, and I don't think he can make the move stick just yet, as we see some gaps beginning to form now between all the drivers. Matt Johnston is extremely close to Jones as well. The battle for P2 is extremely on. So yeah, Annoyed Gamer very close to Hess. Goncalves, Matt Johnston is very close to Jones. See if Matt Johnston can get the move done on his soft tyres with the supreme traction, which won't last for long, so he'll have to make it work soon. And he doesn't get the best of exits, and I think Jones gets a better exit, but here he comes Matt Johnston with DRS. Yeah, he's too far away. He is too far away in the Williams, but here comes Goncalves now. Will he get the move done around the outside in the Haas? No, he doesn't. Matt Johnston keeps it around the inside, and Matt Johnston has a little spin, and he has spun off. I don't know whose fault that was there, but I don't think Matt Johnston lost any wing, but he has plummeted down as we saw him do in the Netherlands, and he has gone down. I think he'll go down to last. That is very unfortunate for Matt Johnston in the Williams. A move that Goncalves tried to stick, but I think he just clipped Matt Johnston, and he is now in the wall. Really unlucky for Matt Johnston, but we see Goncalves and Jones fighting it out. As Goey gets the second time penalty of this race. Goncalves is extremely close to Jones. He's looking to make up positions and maybe gain up to Zabiaka with DRS, with overtake. Here he comes now, Goncalves. Will he go round the outside? As we've seen him do awesome moves throughout this race. He's kept a bit of, I mean, he's gone onto the back of Jones there. And he can't make the move stick just yet. Goncalves. What about... we see Bruno go very wide there, and Octavia takes advantage of that and puts himself up into P8. Stay on board with the two Red Bulls here. Unless Goncalves can make a good gap on Jones, which he has. Here he comes now through Max and Beckett. This is really crucial to get a good exit. Who gets a better exit? I think Goncalves gets a good exit with overtake with DRS. I think this might be an easy move for the Haas driver. Jones is on about 5% ERS right now. Seems like Jones has a better straight line speed though, and he keeps himself into P2. Yep, for now. And Hurst can't get past Daddy Spritz in the Haas. What about Huygens and Skipper are very close down the Hanger straight, and he takes too much cover there, and Huygens gets a 3-second time penalty as a consequence. Yeah, battle for P2 still on with the medium tyres. Goncalves and Jones really fighting it out. Right, here comes Goncalves now. He's the closest he's ever been now. Is he going to use overtake? No, he's still opting not to use overtake. He wants to stay on the back of Jones and use his DRS as much as he can. Yeah, he stays behind him for now. Had a little peek down the inside, but he wouldn't go for it. So yeah, Haas has gone up. Oh, Matt Johnson's retired from this race. Where's that? Seems to be in the pits for me, and it is in the pits, I guess. And Matt Johnson is now out of this race. No safety car, no virtual safety car. Yeah, not for now. As we see Goncalves now on the back of Jones. This is the closest he's ever been. Jones's red light is flashing. Here comes Goncalves. Easy move. And Goncalves, will he be a sitting duck? He is a sitting duck on the straight. And Goncalves puts himself up into P2 for now. Annoyed Gamer is very close to Shaq, Hus, sorry, and Hus has lost a position to him, and to Shaq as well. That's a double overtake for the Mercedes. Lovely moves from the Mercedes now, and the battle for the constructors between the Mercedes and the Haas is now on. Hus decides to go into the pits now after being overtaken by both the Mercedes, and Octavia and Bruno go past him. So Jones is already nearly a second off Goncalves, which shows he had the superior pace in the Haas, but maybe he can stay in that DRS zone just about. No, he is out, but does he have DRS? Yeah, he won't have DRS, unfortunately, as Johnson leaves the session. Really sorry for you, Matt Johnston. So Shaq has now gone up 5 positions in the Mercedes from P11 up to P6. His teammate has gone up 1 position, and Octavia has also gone up from P12 to P7, gained 5 positions as well. Mike Johnson had an extremely good start until he got clipped by Goncalves and unfortunately got out of this race as he decided to DNF in the pits, which is very unfortunate, and all of his hard work was undone. But we'll see Shaq if he can get a good exit out of Mag's pits. Soft tires will be dropping off about now. Shaq is on the mediums though with overtaking DRS. Will he be close enough? Will he be gaining on Annoyed Gamer? I don't think he'll be gaining enough to make the move, and he isn't gaining enough. Yeah. What about Huygens and Skipper, who are still fighting? Huygens is very wide there, but I don't think he got a warning just about in track limits. So the two McLarens sticking behind each other, and Huygens is right behind them. So we're stick on board with Shaq, who has the closest gap on Annoyed Gamer. Goncalves is now within 1 second of Zabiaka as well. Unfortunately, he has a 3-second time penalty, so if Zabiaka continues to not get any warnings or penalties, then he is fine in this race, unless Goncalves can get a good gap on him. But here comes Shaq now, down the inside of Annoyed Gamer. Will he make the move stick? I don't think his teammate will put up much of a fight, although he does. No, he doesn't, and Shaq goes up into P5, now gaining 6 positions in this race. Lovely race from him so far. Is he getting close enough to Skipper? No, not just yet. The Skipper's softs will be dying off a lot. We'll see if later on Huygens can make a move later on this lap. So yeah, Goncalves is now within 1 second of Zabiaka. What a race from the Portuguese driver here in the Haas. He now has DRS, looking to make the move on the P1 position. and gained from where he was in P3 position in qualifying. So yeah, Goncalves really close to Zabiaka now in the racing point. As Bruno decides to go into the pits. It's really close to Goncalves. Was Zabiaka? Really close to Zabiaka. Sorry, was Goncalves there? But he didn't get any wing damage. Fortunately for him, here he comes now with DRS. Decided not to use overtake as he is using it later. As we see, he doesn't wish to go to overtakes on this part of the track. Huygens is now the closest he's ever been on the McLaren of Skipper. Can he get a good exit here? Doesn't seem like it. He's just he stays as the gap was before. Shaq is gaining quite a lot on Danny Spritz, as we see. Yeah, Bruno is still in the pit, very long pit lane here in Silverstone, and a very slow speed for pit entry as well. So you need to be careful not to pick up a 5-second penalty, as it is very easy to do. Now we'll see if Shaq Attack can be close enough to Danny Spritz to make a move on the long straight. Is Goncalves close enough though? This is the question. I think he is close enough with overtake, with DRS. Will he get past Zabiaka? Zabiaka will be defending hard, of course. Zabiaka has lots of ERS. So it is Goncalves. Will he get the move done around the outside, the Haas driver, as we've seen him do before? And he does go for the move. And will he make it stick? No, he doesn't. Zabiaka, great defending from him on the soft tyres, 10 lap old soft tyres. He stays it around the inside, and he keeps a P1 position. Shaq Attack doesn't seem to get past Danny Spritz just yet either. As Annoyed Gamer, as I was talking about, easy to speed in the pit lane. Annoyed Gamer just pick up a 5-second penalty for speeding, as we see lots of soft runners now going into the pits. Yeah, Goncalves is extremely close now on Zabiaka, literally touching Zabiaka's car. Here he comes now with overtake. DRS, he want to get the move done now, surely. But no, he won't go for it. He'll go for the long straight. Skipper jumps into the pits in the McLaren. Annoyed Gamer and CDR Octavia follows suit. This is the closest gap we have. I think Zabiaka should be pitting soon, if I'm not wrong. And he'll be losing lots of time in this battle as well with Goncalves. As Shaq has got past Spritz, if I'm not... Yes, Shaq has got past Daddy Spritz in the Alfa Romeo. See if Daddy Spritz can get the move back on him. He's had a lovely run through Mags and Beckett's, but I don't think it's good enough to get the move done on Shaq. As we see, Goncalves really close to Zabiaka. Will he get the move done for the lead? No, Zabiaka is still sticking it around the inside, and he does, of course, decide to go into the pits, as I said he would, and he does jump into the pits. Spritz and Shaq, of course, are both on the 11 lap old mediums. Will be looking to stick it long and going on to softs later on in this race. Hassan Octavia quite close. Hassan slightly older tyres than Octavio, and they both have DRS. It will be a little bit of a DRS train, and Hassan won't be able to get past him. Zabiaka jumps into mediums. I see where our provisional P1 will end up. He ends up, I think, in P8, just behind Otianu. Yeah, he is in P8. So he'll have to get a nice outlap and maybe get past Goncalves later on in this race, if he gets some nice laps under his belt and doesn't get stuck in too much traffic. Haas and Octavia very close. Haas is extremely close to Octavia now in the Haas. Yeah, the problem is Octavia also has DRS and has to stuck in his dirty air, so it'd be hard for him to make the move. Sinful hasn't. Sinful is on 12 lap old medium tyres. He's currently in P9. Can Annoyed Gamer get the move done on him on the fresh medium tyres? We'll see soon. He's had a very nice run through here actually. He might even get the move done through Stowe. Will he get the move done? And he does get the move done. Lovely move from Annoyed Gamer, but no, Sinful sticking it around the outside. Sinful is defending this hard. They are both side by side now through Mags and Beckett's. And, oh, you're still side by side, but Sinful had to give way for Annoyed Gamer. And Annoyed Gamer jumps into P9. Zabiaka and Otienu on the 12-lap older medium tyres, whereas Zabiaka is on clean, fresh, shiny mediums. Zabiaka had a great exit through here. He's gone very wide though as well. He's gone extremely wide. Otienu has pushed him wide, and he gets a 3-second time penalty for this as well. Maybe he can get the switchback done. This will be a great move from the Zabiaka, from the Finnish driver here. Will he get the move done into the first corner? Nearly, but Otienu is defending quite hard, and he pushes Otienu off as well a bit. So lots of contact here, and not the fairest racing, but Zabiaka gets the move done, and he goes up into P7. Has did get past Bruno grids, but can he get past Octavio as well? We'll see. He's gaining a lot, is Haas in the Haas, but he'll have to wait for the main straight. I think this is the closest gap though we have. As we see, Daddy Spritz is still not out of the DRS zone of Shaq, so he is fighting that Alfa Romeo hard to stay in the DRS zone of Shaq as much as he can. Shaq then decides to pit, and Spritz follows him. So both P3 and P4 are decided to pit. We'll see where these two drivers end up now. Onto the soft tyres. They'll be very quick in the last stages of this race. Spritz decides to pit, so he goes on to soft tyres as well, of course. And this will be interesting now on the soft tyres to see who has the raw pace to get past, and see if Spritz can get past Shaq. So for now, Goncalves stays in the lead, and Jones is about 6 seconds behind him in P2. Both on 14-lap old medium tyres though, and same with Milo, and same with Huygens. The closest gap is Octavia on Sinful. And Sinful keeps around the inside. Can Huss take advantage of this and get the move he was looking for? Huss does get the move done on Octavia. With Octavia brake lick, he does decide to brake lick. A bit of a lock up there for the Portuguese driver, but will he be able to make the move? He is right on the gearbox of Huss actually, with overtake, with DRS now enabled, but Huss also has DRS, and the Red Bull driver has to give way for Huss, who is now in P11, and he gets that P11 that he wanted. Maybe he can get past Sinful as well. And we'll see when these old medium lap runners will decide to pit, as Zabiaka gets another 3-second time penalty. We'll have a look at penalties. Zabiaka now 6 seconds, unfortunately. Goncalves, Jones and Milo and Huygens all have 3 seconds, accompanied by Huss, Skipper and Guri. But Huss is now really close, maybe into Magnus and Beckett's. This will be an awesome move by Huss, and he does get the move done. Same with Octavia, and Octavia's pushed wide, and Octavia has gone onto the grass actually. This is chaotic racing from all the drivers here. Sinful and Bruno are now fighting, and Octavia has to give way to Skipper now in the McLaren. So basically a catastrophe for Octavia in the Red Bull, due to his little fight with Sinful, and Sinful is really fighting hard for his positions and won't give way easily, and he stays in P2. Now what's happened between Shaq and Daddy Spritz? Seems like Shaq retains his P6, but Otienu and Jones are now fighting. Otienu is on way older tyres than Jones, so Jones realistically should be ahead, but Otienu is fighting him hard. Now here comes Shaq taking advantage of this, getting past Otienu in the Renault. Both on different strategies though. Otienu should give way easily, but he might not decide to. Shaq round the outside of the Renault driver. Will he get the move done? Now on the inside, and he does get the move done. Lovely move from Shaq there. If he can make it stick, he does make it stick. Milo and CDR Bruno grids are fighting. Milo is now up into P10, and Octavia with his little catastrophe with Sinful, but on the inside of Sinful, can't get the move done. And we'll see when Goncalves will pit. He's now nearly 17 laps old on these medium tyres. We'll see Milo and Hurst now. See if Milo can get a good exit on Magnus and Beckett's after this. He's on fresh soft tyres, of course. So yeah, he's at extra traction, and I think Hurst will be a sitting duck on this main straight. As we see Spritz, who gets past Otienu, both on different strategies. And will Otienu pit? No, he decides not to pit just yet. and Milo gets past Huss for now. So Huygens does decide to pit with 16 lap old medium tyres, and he goes onto fresh soft tyres as Octavia gets a 3-second time penalty. So the only old medium runners left to pit now are Goncalves and Altia New. So Goncalves is going really long on this little stint. Hurst is really close to Milo as well, but Hurst doesn't get the superior traction than Milo, and he has to keep in P9 for now. Any other close gaps that we can see? No, not for now. Shaq is really close to Jones, trying to battle for that podium position now. This is really the battle as Goncalves finally pits, and this is a very long and painful pit straight. We'll see where he ends up now. He's in P1 by about 31 seconds, so we'll see where he ends up now. And can Shaq get the better exit? He has got overtake, he has got DRS. Jones has got awesome straight line speed as we've seen before. So Shaq is gaining, but very slowly. Will he get the move done around the outside? And he is going for it around the outside. Can Shaq make it? No, he can't make it. Jones keeps in the podium position of P3. So Goncalves now exiting the pit lane. We'll see where he ends up. Will Zabiaka be able to overtake him? This is going to be extremely close with Goncalves and Zabiaka. Goncalves is just coming out now. Can Zabiaka take advantage? And Zabiaka can't, and Zabiaka has to settle for P2 about just inside the 1 second window of the race leader. So the fight for the podium is now on, with Shaq trying to get past Jones and Spritz trying to gain some pace and get past and get closer to Shaq and the Mercedes, and it will be very happy that these two are battling. Now going to the cops, Jones takes cops nice and flat, foot fully on the accelerator. Shaq is looking awesome to Maggots and Beckett's. See if he can take advantage of Jones now in 5th gear with overtake with DRS. Of course, Jones, his straight line speed is really being good to him. See if he can keep this P3 position as there's fighting between Huygens and Bruno Grids. See if Shaq can take P3. He sticks around the inside as he did last time, but not the best runs around the outside, and unfortunately has to give up that P3 position for now. What about Huygens and Bruno, both on literally minimalist ERS? Can Bruno go for the inside this time on the AlphaTauri driver? No, Huygens keeps it around the outside. Can Bruno? No, Bruno's lost it a bit. Annoyed game at an Altia new. Altia, surprisingly, he still hasn't pit, so I'm not sure what Altia is trying to do here. Just trying to go really long on those medium tyres and have the best advantage he can of overtaking people on the softs. As he has lost traction a bit on those really old medium tyres, he really should be pitting now. And he has to make way for Annoyed game in the Mercedes. Is Skipper any close to Bruno Grids? No, not for now. Shaq and Jones, they were very close before. Shaq has dropped off a bit, but he always gains it back in Maggots and Beckett, so let's see if he can again this time. Jones is on about 4% ERS. He has a big disadvantage. But Shaq still not being able to make a move and is stuck behind Jones. We'll see Bruno, and as Goncalves sets another fastest lap of this race, he's looking like a very good contender for the win here, especially because Zabiaka has about a 6-second time penalty if I'm not wrong. Yeah, he does have a 6-second time penalty. Whereas Shaq and Daddy Spritz don't. This could be a big advantage for them. Ortino decides to finally pit and go into fresh soft tyres for the final 6 or so laps of this race here in RLH for the final race of the C5 season. Right, Octavia is very close to Skipper here with overtake with DRS. Will he get the move back on the McLaren of Skipper around the outside? This will be an awesome move if he gets it done. And does he make it stick? No, Skipper keeps it. We'll stay on board with Octavia for now, and he has to get let by Skipper. Is Shaq any closer to Jones than he was before? He's gaining massively, using all of his overtake here, draining it absolutely. He's gaining, but still not enough. Although Jones takes a bit of grass, can Shaq take advantage of this? He really wants his P2 position. He's getting a bit pushed by Jones. Can he get the move done now on the inside of Jones? Jones takes it around the outside, and Shaq has now had a little bit of a spin. No! And Shaq, Daddy Spritz now gets past Shaq. Daddy Spritz jumps up into P4. Will Shaq have to give way to his teammate? No, but Shaq losing out in that battle with Jones, and he goes into P5. Very unfortunate for the Mercedes driver. Jones keeps P3, and Daddy Spritz is now jumps into P4, taking advantage of this. We see Skipper and now Octavio. Not going for any moves yet. Is Skipper trying to take it really cautiously and trying to take a move when he is exactly sure that he can get the move done. You want penalties? We'll give you penalties. There you go. Is Spritz in virtual P3? I'll tell you. Okay. So, according to penalties, if Spritz can gain the 6 tenths back from Jones, then yes, he will be in P3, and it will be a podium for the Alfa Romeo driver. So we have a look now at Huygens, who is 6 tenths behind Haas in the Haas. Don't give me a penalty. Oh, okay. I get what you mean, yeah. So you don't want Daddy Spritz to get a penalty? Is that what you mean? 6 seconds for Jones. And yes, you're right, Jones does get 6 seconds. And there we go, Daddy Spritz can now take P3 if he runs smoothly in this race. As we see Huygens now get past Haas in the Haas, and he does get past Haas in the Haas. And Huygens jumps up into P8. And Haas will now have to take revenge on him next lap. And then we get P8 back. It's 3, never mind. No, it is 6 now, unfortunately. For Jones, Daddy Spritz will be jumping up and down in his seat right now, that he'll be getting a podium in this race. Who else can we look at? Haas trying to get revenge on Huygens for overtaking him. Haas with overtake with DRS. I don't think this is the place to make a move though, Haas. But yeah, he is gaining massively actually, but he doesn't go for the move. P2 is still possible if he kicks it through the floor. If he kicks it through the floor, then his house will be a mess. But yeah, maybe he might be able to get P2. But Zabiaka is looking very quick. Although he does have a 6-second time penalty, so you are right. Zabiaka has mediums. He's on A-lap old mediums. But Zabiaka has good pace, so I think he'll keep this P2 for now. Daddy Spritz he's losing time though. He's now 4.4 behind Jones. So he needs to stay in this 6-second window. Can Haas now get past Huygens? This will be an awesome move. He goes down the inside. He's got the move done before the braking zone. Maybe, yes, he does get the move done. The number 21, Haas, the Turkish driver in the Haas, goes up into P8. So we'll see Goncalves now. He is going steadily in P1 with the next driver is Zabiaka, 8.2 behind him with a 6-second time penalty. So he's looking like he will win his championship in style because Pui's not here, and he will win in P1. Zabiaka might be able to keep P2 if he keeps his pace up. Jones unfortunately will lose out to Daddy Spritz, who has no penalties if he keeps this up. And Shaq also might get past him if he can put his foot to the floor, as Bakker would say. What are the close gaps that we can see? The two Red Bulls are fighting it out. No one making a move on each other yet. Altianu is quite close to his teammate. Not the greatest race for the two Renaults, although they have an enjoyable run for sure in this last race of the season, and Gary lets his teammate by, should I say, in the Renault. So yeah, Spritz is chilling in provisional P3. Shaq is chilling in P5. We have Annoyed Game in P6 with a 5-second unfortunately speeding penalty. And Milo's in P7. He's had a decent race so far. We'll look on position changes quickly. Shaq is out. Sector 3 yellow flags. It seems like a McLaren of... Is that Skipper? It's not Skipper, is it Milo? I don't know. We had yellow flags for someone, maybe someone slowing down. Anyway, Shaq is our driver of the day so far, with 6 positions gained with an unlucky quali, and he might even get a podium at this rate, or maybe go up into P4. We see Annoyed Game in P6 his teammate, so I think the Mercedes will win this constructors battle, but it'll be close between the teams. Milo is in P7, Hurst is in P8 with 2 positions gained. Hugh Gaines is also a contender. He is gone from P15 up to P9. We have the 2 Red Bulls in P10 and P11, solid race as always. Skipper P12, Altia and Guri in P13 and 14 respectively, and Sinful is chilling in P15, having a nice race. Now Octavia is very close to his teammate, but they won't go in for any risky moves, I'm sure. Jones now gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, so this means that he will lose out massively. He's now got 9 seconds of penalties, yeah. So we'll stay on board with Goncalves now for a final lap of this race after lap 25. Still some fights going on though. 2 Renaults are still scrapping it out, and the 2 Red Bulls, although their battle is over, I think. So yeah, tremendous race from Goncalves. He was on P3 in quali and he's gone up to P1 as Mali gets a 3-second time penalty. And Shaq maybe go for a penultimate lap move on Daddy Spritz. He is within 1 second now. He's really pushing the car in these penultimate laps, final few laps of this race. Now here he comes now, Shaq with DRS. Not using any ERS. He might go for it on the final lap as Octavia gets past Bruno. But yeah, not going for it yet. 2 Red Bulls just having a little fight for fun. See if who can get past here. Seems like Bruno has the better run here. We're very close, trying not to crash the 2 Red Bulls like Verstappen and Ricciardo at Baku, but Bruno gets past Octavia. So let's see Shaq now. He's very close to Spritz. This might be a last lap move for Daddy Spritz for him to get onto the podium position. Yeah, Shaq is really close to Spritz. If he can get a nice run to Max and Beckett, it's going to be very, very close for the final lap of this race. So he can check, can he get the move done already? He does go for the move. This is a lovely shot for us. And would he stick it around the outside? He does. Oh, Shaq gets a 3-second time penalty for that. Oh no, he does get a 3-second time penalty. And Spritz keeps the P4 and actually P3. But yeah, Shaq unfortunately gets another 3-second time penalty, trying to make a move on Daddy Spritz, and now he has to stay in P4. Nice, says Bakker, a very big, huge, very humongous fan of Daddy Spritz. As now we stick with Goncalves. What a dominant race for him so far in this race. He crosses the line now to win the championship and to take P1 in style. Goncalves wins the championship and takes P1 here in Silverstone at this race, last race of C5. Now crossing the line is Zabiaka, who keeps his head clear. And sector 3 yellow flags. Who's that? Is that Daddy Spritz? That is Daddy Spritz! He has now gone down, tumbling down the order. Oh no, on the final lap of this race. And he's gone down to P7. Oh no. Zabiaka takes P2, Jones takes P3 now. Shaq has to settle for P4. Annoyed takes P5. Milo takes P6. Back is not a happy bunny. Neither am I. So Spritz is now unhappily crossing the line P6. But awesome result for the Mercedes and the racing points actually. P2 and P3 for the racing points, and P4 and P5 for the Mercedes. Octavia in P10. Bruno is in Skip is in P10 with not many penalties. Octavia in P11. Bruno P12. The two Renaults just crossing the line now soon. Artianu in P12. Evil Mass seems very happy with this. Of course, Shaq's race engineer, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, Abaka will go cry in the corner. I think I might cry in the corner too. And here comes now Sinful crossing the line to take P15 and ending off this race. Props to Sinful for not retiring and enjoying this lovely race here in Silverstone. I had lots of fun here. I think Shaq might get driver of the day. He does get driver of the day. He deserves it. Lovely race from Shaq. Maybe I might, because since it's the final race, I might do post-race interviews if you guys want it. Well, constructors from Merc, yep. Who gets it? Is it Merc or Haas? Can someone do the maths and that'll be good. I'm not sure who gets it. Yeah, I will do some. I'll do some post-race interviews now. So Goncalves takes up P1, Zabiaka P2, Jones P3, Shaq is in P4 with a awesome race by him. Annoyed Game is P5, Daddy Spritz with an unfortunate but P6. Hus with a little spin at the final lap, Hus P7, Minor Deheld P8, Huygens P9, Skipper P10, Octavia P11, Otienu P12, Bruno is P13, Go P14, Sinful P15 at Man Johnson with our DNF says in P16. So I'll do some post-race interviews, invite Goncalves, Zabiaka, Jones and Shaq as our driver of the day quickly. So bear with me a second as I invite them all. Right, I'm having some difficulties with post-race interviews. I might not be able to do them. So I think that might be it for me for now. Unlucky race to Spritz. But Goncalves steals it, gets the championship and ends it off in style. And Jack also came in P4 with Zabiaka and the other Racing Point getting a podium. So lovely race from me. I hope you guys enjoyed it and have a good night.